What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Sam here. We are back out doing some more mods to the Gladiator. You seen my last video, if you saw or not. We did the American Adventure Labs inner fenders. We did a fender chop on the front, and we did their high mount lights, LED lights and stuff. So we did a fender chop on the whole Jeep, but we never really took care of the inner fenders on the back here. So today we're going to fix that. I have some Savvy inner fenders for the rear that I'm going to put on. They are pretty much bolt in, except for you got to grind just a little bit stuff, a little tab off. So we're going to get into that. Let's go ahead and roll the intro, and then we'll get into more of the video. Alrighty, so we did the, if you want to watch the sun, I can see it in the camera. The sun's like right there. Alright, if you want to watch the video of me doing the fender chop on the front, I will include it here and down in the description. Hopefully I'll put it in the video here, but if not, it'll definitely be down in the description if you want to do the front chop on it. The sun is just terrible right now, so we're gonna have to deal with it. Front chop was kind of an ordeal, but we got it done. The rear chop is easier. So if you've never done a chop before on these fenders come in two pieces. They have a black lip here, and then they have like an inner fender part, and then they have the outer shell skin here. So the front you have to deal with doing with the headlights, or with the DRLs and stuff, wiring and stuff. The back is super simple comparatively. So all you have to do, I'll give you the quick rundown. I've already done it. I didn't put it on camera, but all you gotta do is take these three nuts or bolts out, which that secures the whole fender to the tub of the bed. And then after that, all you have to do is, there's like a inner fender, there's an inner fender part that goes around, and just pull that off. And then all you have to do after that is pull the fender off of the Jeep. They're held on by these white clips here, if you can see them, and you just pop it out. I will leave a link also down below to Amazon where you can find the white clips. You can try to save them. I don't think it's worth your time. Mine, this is a 2020 Gladiator, and they were already pretty brittle, so it's always good to have extra clips to have, just to have them, and they're like 20 bucks for like 50. So if you're gonna go ahead and do this, you need to go ahead and just buy a bag of clips. So I'll put them down in the description. 20 bucks, something like that, to have a whole bag of clips. But that's how you do the chop part of it. I'll show you. So these are the, I got them over here, these are the little inner fenders that go inside. And then I'll show you on the wife's Jeep, it's kind of similar. Hers is not a Rubicon, or it doesn't have the high fenders, but this piece right here is what you're getting rid of. This doesn't have that on this one because it's not the high fenders, but it's this type of piece. So you get rid of that. It adds about 3 inches of up travel. So you can, on the front I needed it on mine because of the, I only have a 2-inch lift in the front, and I have 37s, and it was when I was I had the sway bar unlocked, it was getting up into the fender because 37s and 2-inch lift aren't really working together, but it works good enough. So, but with this chop, it gives me a lot more clearance and stuff. So I'm gonna go pull out the Savvy fenders, and then we'll get into it. So we'll have to use the grinder, chop a little tab off, and then we can install them. Evidently it's a bolt-in affair after you done grinding. So let's go pull them out and we'll see. All right, we got it all unpackaged here and laid out. Here are the pieces and the hardware and the pieces and stuff. So This is the part that's going to go to your factory holes right here. It's going to go to your factory thing and set up there, and then it's going to play off that. So you're going to have to first use the grind, get you a grinder, air saw, something, saw, and you're going to have to cut the little piece out that it needs. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, so I'm to the point where I got to cut this, do the only modification to these fenders, which is this cut right here. You have to cut this back to this point so the fender will fit down in here. So the passenger side, you ain't got to worry about nothing. No big deal. Already cut that one. I didn't cut the driver yet because if you can see, well, there's all this filler neck stuff, and then there's a wire right here that I'm gonna have to move out of the way. So I'm gonna take my trim tool that I got right here, trim tool, and we're gonna pop this guy up out of the way. Maybe. Did I get it? Okay, so that's out of the way. I'm probably gonna have to zip tie it up to this over here. So now I need to take my grinder and grind this whole piece away. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that now.
What are you grinding? Oh, is it already on? Okay.
Yeah. I don't like grinding. It's sketchy.
You need like a welding mat or something.
Yeah, I know.
I did not expect that.
Grinding is tough. All right. And then you just take your thing and most of it away. And you're done. All that for that little piece right there. But yeah, grinding's tough. I think I have my safety sunglasses on. So you got to get in here and get this all cut off and get some paint on that so it doesn't rust. But all right, now we have to actually install the fender. All right, after doing that, getting the grinder, using the grinder and stuff, we got it ready to go. So you can use your factory hardware that you took out, or they give you new hardware. I'm just gonna use the factory ones. This is an 8mm. So we're gonna put this up here and get it fitted on there. Try to anyways. Is there a, I don't know if there's a side or anything. It doesn't have a it doesn't have a like a D or anything on there, so it does have a slant. It is slanted a little bit, if you can see. It's kind of slanted, so we'll figure it out and then I'll show you when I get it figured out. Alrighty, we got them on the brackets. It was kind of a pain, not gonna lie, because the only accessible one to the outside is this first one, and then all the other ones you can't even see them, but they're underneath this pinch weld. So you have to use basically a ratcheting, like a ratcheting box wrench. I don't know where mine just went. I had it, oh, right here. I had to use a box wrench with a ratchet on the end to get up in there and do it. I almost drilled out holes so I could stick a socket in there. I almost did. I probably should for easier access, but Savvy, if you're listening, just do that. Just put extra holes on the other side, and so we could stick a socket down through there and go ahead and tighten those up, because that's a pain. But now we get to move on to adding the structure in here. So I'm gonna go do that. We're gonna add one piece at a time, probably this outer piece first, and then work our way in. So let's go ahead and get what it looks like before picture. So it looks like before. So all right, so we're gonna do that, and make sure you paint your little thing that you just grinded off. So I'm gonna actually do that real fast. I'm gonna go grab some primer and paint that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the first piece on. So alrighty, so we've had to take the fender off because this mounts to the holes that your fender mounts to. So if you want to do this process, make sure you're doing it at the same time as you do in the fender job, because now I've had to take this off again. But anyways, so we got the inner structure put in there. It just kind of set there in place for now. I haven't tightened anything. It's just in there. Next thing we'll have to get is the piece that goes right here, and it goes here, and then it fills in the rest. So that piece I'm talking about is this one right here. So this one goes here, and then the next piece goes and bolts from this to that. So we'll go ahead and get them bolted in and see the next part. Alrighty, so I got the the passenger side one on. It was a pain. I'm gonna tell you how to do it, not how they tell you in the instructions. So as you can see, it's up in here, looking good, whatever. A million fasteners holding it together. So I've actually done it on the back here. Go ahead and just put it together. There's 3 different pieces, like you saw. The outer skin, the inner skin, and this back part. I put it all up in there like they said to in the instructions, and you could not get these lined up at all. I couldn't get them lined up. So what I did was take it all back apart, and then I just loosely put it together on here, and then you can just kind of fiddle it. If you loosely put it together, and then you can fiddle it up in there. So that's what I did. So that's off. That's on. I'm gonna have to put new clips on there and put that back on. Now that the fender's only gonna have like 2 clips or 2 or 3 clips holding it on, which I'm not a big fan of, but that's how it is. So I don't know, that's how it is. So put the clips on here, put that back on, that'll be done. And then go over here, rip this fender off on this passenger or the driver's side, and put it on. So but kind of a pain. I want to show you this too. So it goes back, the fender mounts or the skin mounts to this. It's hard to get it to. Got a lot of hidden bolts and stuff, but we're gonna go ahead and finish it out, and then we'll be done. So let me just rip this fender off, put this one in, bolt it down, finish bolting it down, and then put the fender back on. So that should be done here soon. It is 5:02 and I'm starving to death, and we got dinner plans. So let's get this done. All right, I don't know if you can see me or not, but it's dark, so I don't want to GoPro, so that's not gonna help. But anyways, we got it done. You can see here, I don't know if you can or not, but might not be able to see. I might have to get a video tomorrow because it's already getting dark, but we got it on there. The fasteners around the edge here, you can see here and here. Remember I was talking about earlier, I don't know how because you only have them mounted with white clips. Oh, here we go, more brightness. We only have them mounted with white clips. Well, if I read further into the instructions, the actual hardware also retains the fender. So we got that on here. As long as you do my thing where you go ahead and just kind of put it together loosely, out of the vehicle and not try to put it together in the fender well, it goes pretty easily. So hopefully that'll save you some time. The driver's side was kind of more fiddly because of the evap stuff, but it's also done. I'll have to get video of what it looks like completed in the morning. Hopefully it's not gross, but I think it's gonna be gross, so I might have to wait till later to get this. But we are now officially got inner fenders back in the back, and we got them in the front. So that's on the light here. Turn it off. I don't need it anymore. Turn off light. Okay, now back in the garage. So fiddly, super fiddly. I don't like those things that are really fiddly like that. Little B screws and hidden stuff. I don't like that. Don't like it. I understand that stuff has to be done that way or whatever, but kind of annoying. So we'll see how these things hold up. I really wish I would have went with American Adventure Labs front and rear, but this is where we're at. So that's what I have, this is where we're at, and we'll have to deal with it, see what comes down the line later on. So, but I really appreciate every one of you watching, subscribing, liking, and commenting on the videos. If y'all wanted to do any of that stuff, please go ahead and like, subscribe, add a comment, share the video, and all that cool stuff. So hopefully this helps you guys with the Gladiators for doing a rear fender delete with the fender chop delete with inner fenders for the Savvy. So hopefully this helps you guys with the Gladiators. It doesn't work with the JLs, but you know, I'm sure it's something similar. But let's go ahead and end it right here, guys. Hopefully I'll have some better images of the finished product, and I'll already put them in there. But that's gonna be it for this one. I'm gonna go eat some dinner, and we'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you guys for watching.